Welcome to Bear Attack Files. A father and son are deep in the wilds of Wyoming, elk hunting, just like they've done for years. But then, out of nowhere, a massive grizzly bear erupts from the trees, just 4 yards away. There's no warning, no time to run, just 1 second to react, or someone dies. The son drops his phone, pulls his pistol, and fires. This is the true story of how a split-second decision saved a father's life in one of the most dangerous bear encounters we've ever covered. Stay with us, because this could happen to anyone in bear country. It was early morning on October 3rd, 2024. The kind of morning only Wyoming can deliver. Cool air, frost-kissed grass, and absolute silence, except for the distant calls of elk echoing through the foothills near Meeteetse, about 20 miles from the town of Cody. Garrett Kalkowski, a resident of Cody and avid outdoorsman, had set out with his father Vince on horseback. Their mission was simple: scout and possibly harvest elk before winter rolled in. They were no strangers to the backcountry. This wasn't their first hunt. Garrett had spent years learning the rhythms of the land, where the elk moved, how to read the wind, when to stay silent. But even experience can't guarantee safety in grizzly territory, where one wrong move, or even the right move, can lead to a deadly confrontation. The two rode deep into the hills and then dismounted, beginning to move slowly on foot, scanning the ridges and timber pockets for elk movement. The terrain was thick with brush and pine. Signs of wildlife were everywhere: tracks, scat, distant bugles. They were focused. Garrett, pausing near a scenic overlook, pulled out his phone to film the valley below. It was the kind of quiet, serene moment hunters live for. Golden leaves danced in the morning breeze. The sun had just cleared the ridge. That's when the stillness broke. Without warning, from just 4 yards away, a massive grizzly bear exploded from the trees. No huffing, no snapping branches, no rustling in the brush, just a wall of fur and fury closing the gap in a split second. Grizzlies can hit 35 miles per hour in under 2 seconds, and this one was already nearly on top of them. Vince stood just ahead, likely in the bear's direct path, but Garrett, instinctively pivoting from cameraman to protector, dropped his phone, reached to his side, and drew his Glock 10mm pistol, a firearm he had trained with specifically for bear defense. But this wasn't a normal draw. Garrett had made a decision earlier that year that now proved crucial. He always carried his pistol with a round chambered. That meant no racking the slide, no delay, just aim and fire. Boom, boom, boom. 3 deafening shots cracked through the forest. The grizzly staggered, let out a guttural sound of pain or shock, then turned and bolted back into the timber as quickly as it had appeared. It was over in seconds, but it felt like hours. Garrett stood frozen, hands trembling, heart pounding. His father, still in place, slowly turned and said the only thing that felt real: "You just saved my life." They stood there for a while, unable to move, ears straining for the sound of the bear returning, eyes sweeping the tree line for any sign of movement. But there was nothing. Eventually, they cautiously made their way out of the area, knowing the wounded bear could still be nearby and dangerous. Later, They returned to the site with Wyoming game and fish officers who confirmed there was no blood trail, but clear signs of the encounter. It appeared the bear had been wounded, but survived, fleeing deep into the timber. The Kalkowskis were lucky, but they were also prepared. Garrett told reporters afterward that he had trained for this. He knew how quickly grizzlies could close the gap, and he emphasized something every hunter and hiker should remember. You don't have time to react unless you're already ready. What makes this story so important isn't just the action, it's the clarity of what we can learn from it. This wasn't a situation where bear spray would have saved them. 4 yards is too close. There's no time to unclip a canister, aim, and spray. The bear would have been on them in less than a second. Garrett's only chance was being armed, trained, and mentally ready to act. His father could have been killed that day, but he wasn't, because of a critical combination of factors. Situational awareness, knowledge of the terrain and the risks, confidence with his firearm, and the presence of mind to always be prepared. The Wyoming backcountry is breathtaking, but it's also bear country, and bears don't give second chances. This story could have ended in tragedy. Instead, it's a powerful reminder that in the wild, the difference between life and death often comes down to preparation. So, if you travel in bear country, whether you're hiking, hunting, or camping, take your safety seriously. Learn how to use bear spray. Train with your firearm if you carry one. Never assume it won't happen to you, because for Garrett and Vince, it nearly did. Thank you for watching Bear Attack Files. If this story moved you or taught you something valuable, please subscribe to our channel, share it with someone you care about, and leave a comment below. What would you have done in Garrett's place? We'll see you in the next episode. And remember, respect the wild or risk becoming a part of it.